Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading for September 12th to the 18th. This is for Taurus, Sun and Rising. And if you're new to my channel, I do a traditional Celtic cross spread. I also do, I use astrology and my guides to help bring a lot more clarity and to get more specific with your reading. And the reason why I do that is because I want this to feel like a personal reading for you rather than a general spread. Now, Taurus, this week, listen, going to be an interesting week. There are a couple oppositions, but there are also very good days. Now, we're coming off a really strong weekend, all right? A very strong weekend. A lot of y'all may have had some fun with your friends with that full moon in Pisces that happened to be in your 11th house, okay? Friends, networks, you could have expanded your network in some way. But listen, we also Mercury did go retrograde. That makes 6 planets retrograde right now. If anything comes up in your reading, of course, we'll discuss that. But also, I really actually love the Sun trining Uranus. That was yesterday, all right? I want you to think about January 1st, 2022. All right, Taurus, see what happened around that day. These cycles are so crazy in astrology, but that's the last time the Sun trined Uranus. All right, but let's. I'm trying to see, let me just see if there's anything I want to bring up for you. Nope, that's it. Let's do it. Let's get started. Let's see what's up for you this week, September 12th to the 18th. Taurus, Sun, and Rising. All right, now, like I said earlier, I do a traditional Celtic cross spread. It's what my clients prefer. If you want to book a private reading, you know where to find me. Secondly, Taurus, I just have to say, and I'm very serious about this, I love you, okay? I love Taurus so much. I have so many Taurus in my life. Not enough, too. Not enough Taurus, all right? I do, man, y'all are so... Actually, the last people that I've traveled, like the last 3 trips I've gone on were with Tauruses, so y'all are so easy to travel with. I love it. Okay, so Taurus, let's go ahead and get started with your reading. It looks like this will be a pretty significant week for you, okay? Very significant week. Let's get started with the 6 of Swords, Mercury, and Aquarius. All right, so listen, fun tidbit. My site is called the Tarot Ship. It is actually inspired by the 6 of Swords because they're leaving turbulent waters to what I call the promised land, just a better place. Everything is going to be so much better for them. And listen, this came up in your past. So any challenges that y'all have been going through, and listen, Taurus, y'all have been going through, come on. Even back to May with that eclipse, oh my goodness, that was game changing. Okay, that was game changing. And then since then, there's been like just waves and waves. But listen, it looks like you have finally put your foot down. Sometimes we have to force ourselves out of situations too, where we feel a little stuck in. There's some things that are not within our control. All right, things that just happen, but there are some things that are within our control. And then you get to a point where you're just like, not right for me, got to move forward. Okay, so good for you for moving forward from these experiences that may have not been serving you well, or may have just been, not so great in your life. Okay, they could have been challenges, they could have been obstacles, but this coming up in your past is a really good sign. Oh, sorry, let me move the thing over here so you can see it. All right, great. Now, this brings us to the 2 of Swords, all right? So this is in the heart of your spread. We call it the heart of the matter. It really is just kind of like what's going on for you right now. It's like the headline news for the week, September 12th to the 18th. Now, it looks like there may be a decision that you may have to make this week, and it may be a decision that is emotional, and it may be something that you do not want to make, all right? Now, this is really coming out of that full moon in Pisces. So, as you can see, this is very watery. You can see all that water. You can see the rocks jutting out. The rocks really representing obstacles here, but water just very emotional. I want you to trust your instincts now, Taurus, all right? You see the sliver of the moon in the background, but she's clearly wearing a blindfold, clearly has to make this decision. And it could even be just 2... situations that you're caught between, okay, or 2 situations that you're in the middle of. Whatever it is, we need to take that blindfold off, all right? Whatever it is, I know it's going to be very emotional, but this week, if something does come up, some Taurus is already feeling it and already know what I'm talking about, all right, relating to your life. let's face it, okay? Let's face that truth now. It will only serve you good, all right? You will only feel better, and it'll help you move forward, all right? And we're going to get to your future in a second, but I do want to point out that you did get the Wheel of Fortune, all right? But you got the Wheel of Fortune in your challenge area. So the Wheel of Fortune is, you know, a huge card of karma, all right? But it's also, you know, it represents luck, okay? Good luck, prosperity. It's ruled by Jupiter, all right? We know that Jupiter right now is retrograde, okay? Jupiter's retrograde, which actually for you, you may actually like, because Jupiter right now is in Aries in your 12th house, subconscious, right? Hidden enemies, secrets, stuff like that. Listen, I want you to, especially because that came up in your challenge area, one thing I want to note is when Jupiter's retrograde, all it means is it's in low power mode. It means that we can't rely on it to bring us that like good fortune and prosperity that it normally does at its peak level. We have to actually put a little more action into it, all right? Into the things that we want. The other thing here is that because it is challenge in the challenge area, over your Two of Swords, I really, really need you to trust your intuition, okay? I really, really, really don't want you to, I don't want you to think that whatever situation this is or that you may go through this week will just solve on its own, okay? I really want you to take a little bit of action toward it, all right? Because I think that I think that you need to do that, and I think that it'll help you become a little bit stronger. And speaking of which, it looks like that's what you want anyway, okay? You pull the Emperor in your crown, all right? So listen, there is the Emperor. I call him the daddy of the tarot deck, right? He is like the father figure, but listen, he is the ruler, all right? He is the ruler, and we love that, okay? 4. What is 4? It's all about order, all about stability, all about structure, but this is someone who is sitting in that throne so confident, has so much power, so much authority, world in his hand, the Egyptian Ankh in the other, representing life. He is golden, all right? Wise, powerful, passionate. That's where you want to be. All right, Taurus, you want all that power back. You want your power back. But also there are some Tauruses who are actually thinking about their dads in some way or another. All right? So, listen, if that is the case, yeah, okay. Something could have happened. There could be been something that happened with your relationship with your father, okay? And not even father, it can be just someone who felt like a father figure. It could have been someone that was like a teacher. It could have been someone that you were very close with that had the energy of being paternal, all right? Something could have happened dramatically and unexpectedly that had some sort of emotional impact on you to the point where it was a little chaotic, maybe even devastating, all right? So listen, I really, that's why we do tarot. We want to get back to that place, and that's why I said way in the beginning in the reading, I asked you to trust your intuition now, and this is just validation. This is affirming it, okay? The High Priestess came up, okay? She only comes out in tarot when she needs to tell you to trust yourself, trust your instincts, okay? That's what's going to get you through everything, all right? Trusting your instincts is so important, because if you can't trust yourself, how can you trust the decisions you make, okay? How can you trust the things that you do? She is the guardian of the subconscious, all right? So it would be helpful if you really just spent some time tapping inside within, all right? It's going to bring in that deeper knowledge or that deeper wisdom, all right, that you need. You'll be fine, Taurus. You'll be fine. Now listen, you did get the 7 of Cups, all right? So it looks like there's a lot of things that you want at this point. You have to be very specific, though, all right? I want you to think about just honing in on maybe 2 or 3 things, or maybe even one thing that you really want to go for, okay? You can see here, I call this the card of illusion and delusion, and the reason why is you can see the universe granting this man so many different options, okay? But then when you take a closer look, you can see they're not all great. There's a snake coming out of one, a dragon out of the other. I mean, they're all very different. There's beauty. There's so many different things What do you want? All right, Taurus, what do you want? Let's think about that. Secondly, because Mercury did go retrograde, I have to just gently remind you, please be careful. Read the fine print for anything that comes through, okay? And you may be going through that right now. If you got a job offer, if you're signing the lease on a new home, listen, this is crucial, all right? Because when Mercury is retrograde and we sign contracts or make agreements, when Mercury goes back, spins back into orbit or whatever, something could come back to haunt us in a way where we maybe miss something in a contract or whatever. So read the fine print for anything that you may be signing up with or agreeing to this week, okay? Not just this week, but the rest of the month, all right? I want you to do that for me, Taurus. Promise me you'll do that. Now, lastly, you did get the Hanged Man, okay? You got the Hanged Man in your future area, and I actually love that you did get the Hanged Man, because once you make this decision that you have to make, and listen, again, it is going to be possibly emotional, all right? Once you make this decision to move forward from a situation, okay, it's going to be good for you, and it's going to bring you to a place where you're going to have a brand new perspective and you're going to see things in a different way. And while you make that decision, you will ultimately surrender something that doesn't serve you well and that you don't need, okay? Now, the Hanged Man appears in a lot of religious texts, okay? Very spiritual energy here, hanged in the form of the cross, okay? Upside down. But here's the good thing, is that you can see that he has a smile on his face. You can see there's a halo around his head. A lot of enlightenment, okay? Why is he hanging himself upside down? It's because he wants to get a new perspective, okay? The ways of the past weren't working anymore. All right, Taurus? The ways of the past weren't working. There was probably some things that you were doing. It just stopped working, okay? It's, that's just how life is. Life, we just go through cycles, and we go through cycles, and we go through cycles, and we learn through these cycles, and we grow through these cycles, all right? So you're in a process right now. You're a place in your life where there may be a situation that you're in, whether it's work, career, home, family, where it's this cycle where you have to now look at things in a new way, and you have to make a sacrifice to move forward, okay? And when I say sacrifice, well, first of all, I'm not talking literal sacrifice. I hope you know that. Secondly, it can just be the way that you think as well, all right? So sacrificing a certain way that you've been thinking for a while just may not be serving you well, okay? Now, listen, I know it's hard. It's easier said than done. I'm not going to lie. It's, research has proven by the time we turn 30, 35, 95% of everything in our brain, everything we've learned, everything, how we've approached life, everything we've been taught, it's branded in there. So it's so hard to look at things in a new way. It's so hard to change the way we think the older that we get, right? And so this is why this may be very emotional for you, and it's why I don't want you to just cruise along and feel that everything will work out, because you're actually going to have to put in the effort, okay? You're actually going to have to put in the effort, and that is actually going to be, you got the Seven of Wands clarifying the Hanged Man. So with that new perspective, having that moment of clarity, looking at things in a whole different way, and this is your future area, by the way. I've come to your future, what's going to happen in the near future. All right, it looks like you will have a point where you are going to start. It may have to defend yourself, stand your ground. Okay, be proud. Be that proud Taurus of everything that you've worked for. Okay, and listen, here's the thing. Comes after the Six of Wands, a card of victory, all right? So when I say stand your ground, it's only because there's people around you who may not be cool with you. It's nothing you did, it's them, all right? And so sometimes when we're victorious, sometimes when we're successful, a lot of other people get a little bit jealous and envious, right? So this is all about standing your ground, staking your territory, just making sure that you're on top. And, I call this a slippery slippers. Like, he's wearing two different shoes here, okay? Caught off guard, unexpected, but that's why this new perspective will be so good for you. all right, with this decision that you make, okay? And you're doing a damn good job, okay? You will in the future after you make this perspective. It may be not the smoothest transition, but it'll be so worth it in the end, all right? So worth it. Now, let's get to your stuff. Taurus, if you like this reading, hey, you know what to do, all right? Like and subscribe. And listen, it really does help my channel grow, all right? And if you're a subscriber, you know I love you so much. I love you. Thank you for being here with me every week. It really means a lot to me. Okay, now, Taurus, I have really good news for you, okay? I have great news for you. So I don't want you to worry, okay? The first things first. I don't want you to worry. I don't want you to have any doubt. I don't want you to have any concern. You're going to have to make this decision. It's going to be the best thing for you, okay? You can't just hope that it just, you know? You got to put some action toward it. Now, you did get the Two of Wands, all right? So, plan, all right? Just plan, all right? It's fine to be in this. This is your second two, okay? So, I want you to know that he, like the Emperor, has a globe in his hand, okay? Standing from a really high point, all right, in his castle, all right? Really great view, really great vision, all right? Not yet ready to jump the gun, not ready to move forward in a certain situation, but planning things out, to be a little bit strategic at this point. However, in your external factors area, you did get the Knight of Swords, all right? Very, very fiery energy. Like, this is, you know, knights are super fiery, right? And you can see him charging forward, okay? You can see him charging forward. Listen, this came up in your external factors area. It looks like someone may be coming through to help, like, just give you that nudge. Maybe not even a nudge, but like a push, you know, because this is so, but listen, someone may be coming through, whether it is a friend, family member, counselor, therapist, neighbor, whoever. Someone could be coming through, someone who's very young and youthful, and someone who just really just gets it and just sees where you're at right now and really just helps you push you into a better headspace. Let's call it that, all right? A very, very good place, yeah, okay? King of Cups, yeah, all right. Ooh. King of Cups, someone who is so on top of, listen, he's not even looking at the cup at this point, all right? This is his throne is on top of water. That's how emotionally stable he is. This is a very creative king. He's a very emotional king. He's someone who leads with his heart, not his head. But this is very interesting. You do have so much support coming in, all right? You have a lot of support coming in. This is good, all right? And you need that. Now, you also got another king. You got the King of Swords. Now, it looks like you do want to cut through all of this secretly, right? You do want to cut through all of this. King of Swords, the only king that looks directly at you, has nothing to hide, all right? Facing your truths. Facing your truths. Facing your truth, okay? You want it. This is what you want, okay? You can see head above the clouds. Authority, power, all right? You're good. Now, we've come to the end of your reading. That's right. You did get the Nine of Cups, all right? In your final outcome area. Everything's going to work out, Taurus. You're going to be fine. And you actually get your wish come true. This is the wish come true card, all right? You can see the 9 cups here arranged over his head. You know what that means? When it's over the head, spiritual enlightenment, all right? This is going to make you really happy. So whatever you're wishing for, just make sure you really want it, all right? Make sure it's something that's going to make you truly happy, all right? And it definitely does have to do with this decision, because you are moving forward now. It does look like you are coming out of some place of some, just challenges, but be very intuitive at this moment. Trust your instinct, okay? Go out for a long walk. Instead of using your dishwasher, wash your dishes, zone out for 10 minutes, all right? It helps. A lot of that, you get a lot of mental clarity. The things that you need to think about that you've been pushing to the side come up, all right, Taurus? So that said, I love you so much. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new to my channel, it'd be great if you like and subscribe. And if you're a subscriber, I love you, all right? Thanks so much. I will see you next week.